Bye. Jesus. That's cool animation. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Tasty Flicks. My name's Seth. Joining me is Chevy. We just watched episode 2 of season 1 of Demon Slayer. If you missed our review of the first episode, I'd say go check that out. Also hit subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews on Demon Slayer, other anime, movies, and possibly TV. And yeah, so let's start with a recap of what we watched. Obviously, we can't show you what we just watched because we're on YouTube, but we're going to talk about it. And if you don't know, I haven't seen the show before, so this is my first time viewing it, and this is not your first time viewing it. You are a fan of the show. So what I got from that episode is, so we start off with Tanjiro and Nezuko. They are going on their adventure, and we run into a situation where Tanjiro needs to make essentially a bucket to put his sister in, and she fits in it, and they wander along until they run into another demon. Apparently, these guys are not rare, and they get into a fight with him. And by fight, I mean Tanjiro gets pinned, and Nezuko kicks the demon's head off. The head flies and hits some shit, and the body starts attacking them, and then the head grows little buff arms, which was disturbing as shit. And while he's fighting the baby head, she's off getting kicked by the body, and a fight ensues where finally they get into a situation where Tanjiro has to test his resolve and see if he can finish off the head. He goes for the axe, and then he's interrupted by a Tengu masked old man that I don't remember the name of.
I can't remember his name either.
Something Daki. I don't remember. I'm sure I'll remember it as we watch more. He goes for the rock after that to smash his head in, but then the sun comes up and does the job that he was not able to do yet. I'm sure later he'll be real good at killing demons. Sun burns the demon, and didn't look too awesome for him, but who cares? He's a dickhead. So then Tengu guy, as we find out a little bit later, was sent a note from the samurai guy from the first episode that Tanjiro and his sister were on their way in their situation, and that he is ready to be trained in the Demon Slayer Corp. And so old guy with the Tengu mask sends him into the woods at night, tells him to get back to the house by daybreak. It's foggy out. It's dark or whatever, and Tanjiro uses his sense of smell to find his way back while navigating a really fucked up woods where a lot of traps are flying at him, and the animation was fantastic. We'll talk about that in a sec. I was actually very impressed, and he ends up making it. I had no doubt in my mind he would or wouldn't.
Be a short anime.
Yeah, it'd be really weird. I'd be like, well, where are they going with this now? And yeah, he makes it back, and he agrees to teach him the ways of the Tengu ninja. So I really like this episode. I feel like we got to slow down a little bit more. The first episode, obviously, they had to establish stuff. In this episode, we are starting to, in my opinion, start the story.
Yes.
The first episode is more of a catalyst to start the story. The second episode definitely is the beginning of the story, it seems. We are starting to get an objective, something that the characters are working towards. I also am happy to see that there is, the first episode's pretty heavy. So the second episode lightens it up a bit, throws some humor in there, throws some animation and action in it that I don't think we saw in the first episode. The first episode was a lot more coming from a perspective of a guy who doesn't know what's going on. So like all the action was like fast and like you couldn't really tell what's happening. Mm-hmm. In this, we get the situation where he's in a similar situation as the first episode where he's being pinned by this demon, but then I wasn't expecting it, but his sister just walks up and just punts that dude's fucking head off just instantly. Yeah. And I was like, that's fucking ridiculous, but I'm all for it. And then, they really showed off hopefully a hint at what's to come with the woods animation. The whole sequence is him running, and there's these bamboo shoots that are like flying at him, and logs that are shooting out of the trees at him that look like they could fucking crush a semi. And this angle of the camera behind him as he's running through the woods, almost like 3D looking in a 2D perspective, is actually really neat looking. And I was even impressed with how the bamboo was bending and slapping and stuff. It looked great, and gave me a sense of finally him working towards something, some struggle that's not just like, oh, this is fucked up for him, but more so like, oh, he can overcome this. So that was cool to see. I'm really curious to see where it goes when it comes to his training, to get that rolling. They keep showing in the beginning and or the intro and outros characters that I'm really interested in finding out their dynamics. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm intrigued by the Tengu guy. I hope to learn his name and remember it. Because I mean, the first episode I know Nezuko's name, and now I got that down. So we're getting there. And yeah, I was stoked to see some humor in this episode, even right in the beginning with the old guy when he's the old guy's just gonna give him all the bamboo and stuff, and he's like, "I'm gonna pay you," and he fucking slaps
aggressively.
Yeah, and then the guy's hands like looks like it's bleeding. He's like, "Ow!" like in the background because he's like so into the idea of making sure he paid him. Yeah, so we're getting some humor, which I'm liking. That's something that I always really love about anime is the humor that can be like right next to a really intense scene that's like really dramatic. So it's a really good juxtaposition. And the action was cool. I'm really looking forward to like when we're going to see some like action, because I feel like only in 2 episodes, I'm already feeling like they're going to be able to portray some really cool stuff. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, in the last episode, I did kind of like really talk up the animation studio, and that was for a good reason. They are one of the best in my opinion. So
yeah, this episode showed it. The first episode, it was all good, but like this one, I was like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah, they definitely
like movie quality.
They save it.
Yeah,
and they do make movies. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, this episode is good for me too. Rewatching it, it was a nice refresher. This one I did remember more than the first, though I remember the events of the first. The small details were missing. This one I was pretty much exactly how I remember. Outside of I forgot about the little arms. I don't think I said so.
Yeah, I loved and hated it.
And you get kind of glimpses of it in the intro, but there are some very, very unique takes on not even just like character designs, but even in like battle animations and stuff like that. So, but we have to build up to that, and it will. I do think it is a little. I don't want to say slow, but I don't think we're going to see any like crazy fight scenes for a few episodes. So.
Yeah, I don't expect so, but I did get a taste of what they're capable of doing with the animation, and so someone who could do that with bamboo, I assume, can do something pretty cool with people doing things.
Yeah, it's a pretty strange spot to show off. But I really appreciate it because like, why not do it right there? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because right now we're just getting in situations where Tenjio's getting attacked, you know, so we're not getting any kind of like fight scenes. We're getting like, although they are being creative about like how he's getting out of these situations and like the use of the axe in that situation where he was able to get, you know, a strike in, and then while he's in his scuffle with the baby head, the little hairs of the baby head were starting to grab the axe, which comes into play when he goes flying and hits the tree and shit. So there's a lot of I'm sure it's all from manga or whatever, but a lot of creativity in even that situation. So it's, you know, it's definitely not boring. Yeah. Overall, though, cool episode. You know, not as impactful as the first episode, but doesn't need to be. I think it was a more entertaining episode. So overall, so
I'm glad you actually like the way they do humor too, because you're gonna get a lot of that.
I mean, perfect. I like it.
Especially with the characters you're waiting to see. They're both ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm very excited for them. I just seeing them doing whatever the hell they're doing in the background. I was like, I'm gonna like these guys for sure. So
Inosuke is probably one of my favorites. He's the boar-headed guy. So
yeah, no, he looks dope. Yeah, so I'm excited for episode 3. We're gonna watch that next. Do you have anything else to say?
No, not really. I'm just glad to hear certain things because like you've brought it before. You've fallen out of anime, so though this might spoil you, which might not make other ones as good in the animation.
That's
department.
worrying.
Yeah.
Well, I can watch. I love Berserk, and that's the original Berserk's animation. Even though I think I love it, but I don't think it's that great because it's old. I accept it because the storytelling's so good. So
That's fair.
Yeah, but the animation in this is very good. So, and I'm just like, oh great, anime's come a long way. Now you're telling me this, I'm like, okay, well maybe it's just these guys.
Anime has come a long way, but there's only like a handful of studios that do that. So
Yeah, it was nice too to see. Not to shit on it because I love it, but I just brought it up. The 3D thing that was happening a lot in anime, the Berserk movies and the new seasons of Berserk, which I did like a lot. We can always watch those too as reviews at some point. I'm glad to not see that in this. I'm glad to see like traditional animation. I'm sure there is some like obviously some tech going on here,
they've gotten way better at it. Though,
but it still looks like just the animation. There's nothing that's jarring about it. Nothing taking me like, whoa, why are their character models different?
Yeah.
Like they went from like 2D that looked great to like 3D that looks like acceptable.
For sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's all I have to say on this episode. It's a good one. It's definitely got the ball rolling more for me now. Now that we're out of the intro catalyst of the series. Yeah, so let us know in the comments what you guys think of episode 2, and hit the subscribe button if you like what we're doing here, and if you have any suggestions on things we can do with the show or things you'd like to see us review. We do movies, anime, and maybe TV. I'm kind of selective on that. Let us know what you'd like to see us talk about. And yeah, hit the subscribe button. My name's Seth. This has been Chevy, and we'll catch you on episode 3 of Demon Slayer. Until then, see you later.